Adrian, your pancakes were intense, but I thought I'd just take it down a notch. It's going to be sweet, though. So
I like that.
Be happy with that.
Yeah,
I'm actually going to make a sweet potato brownie. Now, you don't normally think sweet potato and brownie, but what's really interesting about this is there's a lot of nutritional value to it. So sweet potatoes themselves, vitamin C, fibre, but when you actually heat and cool potatoes, you increase something called the resistant starch. So it's actually quite good for your blood sugar levels. It feeds all the good bacteria. Not impressed in the slightest, is he?
Well, I think that's the body of the brownie, isn't it? That's the flour and the eggs, I suppose.
We still are using some other dry ingredients. So I've actually got, obviously, the cacao. I've got some almond meal and wholemeal flour. So that will make that sort of emulsifying element stick together. Yeah, I'll leave that one for you to chop.
Yep.
Now, you can get started on the wet ingredients. So I've got 2 eggs. I've got some vanilla essence. Obviously, you could use a vanilla bean. I've got maple syrup. You'd be happy with that one. Happy?
Delicious. There we go.
Low GI, really that lovely caramel flavour. I think it's fantastic with something like this. Okay. And it needs to have a little bit of oil and richness to it. So I've got the extra virgin Australian olive oil. So about a tablespoon of that as well.
I can do that for you.
So what I've done with the sweet potato is I've already gone ahead and cooked and cooled the potato, like I said before. I have taken the skin off, and I know I scream about always keeping the skin on, but we do need to kind of keep this to quite, a blended consistency.
It's who you scream at. That's the problem. You never scream at me. Never have.
Never. I'm always lovely and sweet.
You are.
OK, so the chocolate component. So I'm using cacao. I love cacao. I love the bitterness. I love the antioxidant content, but I think it's a really nice ingredient to use. Naturally, what you need is you then need something to balance. You need that sweetness in it. So the thing is, sweet potato has natural sweetness in it. It's a really, really good way of not having to add too much sugar.
I'd have to say, it's one of my favourite potatoes, the sweet potato. It's great.
Yeah, look, it's really, it's easy, it's diverse. We can use it sweet or savoury. Different cultures, I mean, you find in America, it's predominantly they use it as sweet, and the yams and things like that. Obviously, in Australia, we use it more traditionally and sort of in the English version of these types of root vegetables.
We roast it and put it with butter and bacon bits and onion, that's what we do.
Who doesn't love a roast? Come on, there's nothing better than a roast smelling. Maybe not vegetarians.
Well, it's usually the roast chicken and the beef that puts people off. Well, it's usually the roast chicken and the beef that I love, and it's usually the roasted vegetables coming from your oven,
yeah, look, I love the roasted veg. I'm using some wholemeal flour, so pop that in there. And then I've just got a little bit of the baking powder. So, Adrian, what I'll get you to do is I'll just get you to make a little bit of a well for me.
A well in the middle, there we go.
Yeah, and then we can put our dry ingredients. And then I'm going to give you the honour of chopping the chocolate. So, of course, I'm using dark chocolate.
Ready?
Yeah, please, that'd be wonderful. So, again, if you're not someone who is a fan of the dark chocolate, you could either omit this completely, so you don't need to add it, but...
No, put chocolate in it.
No!
Learn to love chocolate.
I don't love chocolate that much. But I think what's really nice is that when you actually bite into this brownie, you just get a little explosion of chocolate. So it's really sensational and something a little bit different.
It comes together quite well. It's actually just with a spoon.
It's just quite simple. I've actually put blueberries in this, raspberries instead of the chocolate.
Yeah.
So again, you've got that lovely sort of tartness instead of the chocolate. Something a little bit different. For me, I'm always obviously trying to make tasty food. That's number one. But I'm really trying to make things that people will think is healthy and nutritious.
Do you want to hold
and
that for you?
A little bit different. Yeah, squeeze over here.
Oh, I was wondering where the spatula was. There we go.
All right, pop that straight into...
It smells good.
Yeah, you can smell the vanilla and the cacao.
It's great.
It's really nice.
Now, if you didn't want to use flour, you could use rice flour or anything, you know?
Look, I mean, if you wanted to retain a completely gluten-free alternative for this, it's really, really simple because it's only 1/3 of a cup that I'm actually using in the wholemeal flour. So it could be something like spelt flour, quinoa flour, coconut flour. There's so many good alternatives. You could even just put a little bit more almond meal as well.
You know, I tasted that, and I can't even taste the sweet potato. It's got a lovely moist texture to it. It's actually a great batter straight from the spoon.
I know I've succeeded when Adrian's going to eat the raw batter and like eating it. So I've preheated the oven to 180 degrees. It's going to take about 25 minutes, and then we can cut it into the perfect portion size after it's cooled. So I've let the brownie cool, and it's quite moist. That's what I like about this particular brownie. But how much do you want, Adrian? How big is your portion today?
Just a little tiny piece.
Just a slither?
There we go. You're not going to force feed me, are you? I mean, it's a great thing to do at a school fete. You can put a layer of chocolate over the top if you want, or just like that.
I mean, obviously it's got the almond meal, so you have to be a little bit careful with nut restrictions. But again, you could use something different. I've used chia seeds because obviously chia seeds have that gelatinous nature. So yeah, it's a really good alternative. What do you think?
It's really nice.
It's
not too sweet, but it's got a lovely texture to it. It is very, very moist. It's like a sponge cake almost, which is the way it should be. You know, a layer of chocolate over the top could do, but I think it's perfect just the way it is. Well done.
Hey, Jen, if you had your way, there'd be chocolate smeared on everything. But this is a guilt-free dessert, potato-friendly, and you know what? I really love this dessert.